Hi everyone. I wanted to start our data series with a discussion on data normalization first. To be precise, I actually wanted to discuss when not to use normalization. Now this may come across as a surprise because normalization is really a powerful tool that has been used by data modelers ever since we started using relational databases. But could there be any situation where using normalization may be harmful to your application? Could there be a situation where normalization may create performance bottlenecks for your application? Let's find out. In this video, we are going to talk about the pitfalls of using normalization. But just in case you do not understand what normalization is, let me just explain that to you with a very simple example. Imagine that you are a software developer for a big online retail store, and your job is to persist all the information about product sales to some form of database. You can come up with a very simple table structure for that database, just like what I have shown in the screen. Notice that there are product and customer information present in this table, and using this information anyone can figure out which customer bought which product. Now further imagine that you also need to store the product category information for each of these product. One thing you could do is to put the product category beside the product in the same table, and then it will look something like this. However, there is a problem. If you notice this particular table, you will see that the product category information is now repeated across multiple rows. This is called data redundancy, and this leads to all kinds of problems, including consistency and integrity issues. To resolve these problems, you could create a product table itself. Think of this product table as a separate table which is only created to store all the attributes that are related to the product. Product names, product category, product price are some examples that you might store in this particular table. This solves the problem of data redundancy. As you can see in this picture, now for each product, there is only just a single record in the product table, and that record tells you everything that you need to know about this product. There is no data duplication, there is no data redundancy, and therefore there is no possibility of any future data inconsistency issues. What we have done just now is actually called data normalization. We have normalized our data, and by normalizing this data, we have solved the problems that were there in our previous database design. Now, this example is just one specific type of normalization. There are many different forms of normalizations, and I definitely encourage you to go and read about them. But what we have done over here is called a third normal form. Now that you have understood what normalization is, you must be wondering, could there be any situation where I wouldn't want to use normalization? Could there be any downside of using normalization? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. There is a specific issue with normalization that you must be aware about. And that issue is the issue of degrading performance. You see, normalization is really required and in fact essential if you have a database where there are lots of insert operations. However, normalization is not very good if the primary type of operations in your database is reading or selecting data from the database. Why is that so? The reason is easy to explain with this example. Suppose you have an application which needs to find out product sales across various different product category. Obviously, if your product category was present in the same table, which is our earlier sales table, you could just group by the product category and find out total sales for each of these categories. However, now the product category is present in a different table, which is in our case the product table. So in order to find the same information now, we will need to join these two tables together. Did you see what is happening? When you normalize table, you need to traverse through multiple joins to find the same information. And traversing through joins is really a costly operation. It is costly because it is a time-consuming operation and it degrades the performance of your application. The more normalized your data is, the more joins you need to traverse in your database query. Now you might be thinking that, okay, I don't want to join these tables in my SQL query. I will just fetch these records in my application and then find out this information. It doesn't matter how you want to do that. The point is that whether you do these joins in the SQL queries or you do it yourselves in your application, you still need to traverse through multiple data to get the results that you want. The more normalized you make your data, the more joins you need to traverse, right? I bet you must have come across those web and desktop applications where there are initial dashboard that needs to fetch data from the database, and there are many different widgets with loading wheels that keeps going round and round until the first data fetch happens. A primary reason why those applications are slow is because the data that you show in the dashboard are scattered across multiple tables which are very highly normalized in the database. Now when the dashboard fetches those records, all these records need to come after all these joins are done in the backend database side. So now the question is, should we not do normalization? Well, you have to use normalization when it is required, especially if your database has a lot of write-intensive operation, for example, inserts and updates. However, there is a scope of deliberate denormalization if your database is a read-intensive database, which means if you're trying to read a lot of data from your database all the time. This is what differentiates between a good design and a bad design, between a good architecture and a bad architecture. There is no one-size-fits-all solution, and you need to evaluate whether you need to keep your data in a normalized format, or is there any scope of deliberately denormalizing some information so that your reading is faster. Oftentimes there are group of attributes which appear together in your programming logic or your application data. When you see this certain group of attribute is appearing across all your logic, it is generally a good idea to keep those group of attributes together in one single table rather than normalizing them into separate table. So, using normalization is the right thing to do, but you should keep in mind this particular performance issues or performance penalty that normalization puts to your application. If you keep that in mind, then whenever you design your application, you would be able to come up with a better data structure for your application. I hope this video was useful. Thank you.